From the pages of ancient legends to the screens of modern blockbusters, the image of fierce warrior women has always captured our imagination. What is it about these fearless figures that continues to draw us in? Are they simply fictional creations, or do they hold a deeper truth about strength, power, and identity? Today, we're diving into the world of the Amazons, legendary warrior women whose daring exploits have fired up storytellers for centuries. Born from the realms of Greek mythology, these heroines were said to live apart from men, mastering the arts of war and ruling their own destiny in ways that defied the norms of their time. Their tales have not only survived the test of time but have also inspired countless stories, from epic poems to modern films. So, get ready to uncover the hidden layers of these myths as we journey through 25 fascinating stories that reveal the enduring legacy of the Amazons. Stay with us, because by the end of this video, you'll see these warrior women in a way you've never imagined before. Now that we've set the stage, let's pull back the curtain on where it all began for the Amazons. Their origins are as captivating as their battles, steeped in divine intervention and bold acts of creation. Myth 1 tells us that the Amazons didn't just rise from ordinary circumstances but were instead born of the gods themselves. According to legend, Ares, the god of war, and Artemis, the goddess of the hunt, played pivotal roles in their creation. These deities, each embodying primal forces of nature and combat, infused the Amazons with an unyielding spirit, setting them apart from other mortals. Imagine the fusion of raw power and untamed wilderness shaping a society destined for greatness. This divine spark wasn't just symbolic, it defined who they were. Moving forward, we encounter Myth 2, which introduces us to the first leaders of these extraordinary women. The Amazons were said to be founded by queens of incredible prowess, and one such figure was Hippolyta. Stories describe her as a ruler both wise and fearsome, wielding authority with the same precision as her sword. Her leadership wasn't just about governance, but about setting the foundation for a culture that valued strength and independence. It's fascinating how these early myths link the birth of the Amazons to strong female figures, almost as if to emphasize that their entire society was built on the pillars of courage and self-determination. And then there's Myth 3, which reveals how the Amazons structured their world. They didn't just live alongside men, they thrived apart from them, creating a matriarchal society that was as intricate as it was revolutionary. The Amazons were deeply connected to nature, drawing strength from the land and its creatures. Their bond with the natural world wasn't mere coincidence, it was symbolic of their independence and resilience. Some myths even suggest they lived near rivers or dense forests, places that mirrored their untamed spirit. These origins weren't just stories, they were the blueprint for a culture that would challenge and inspire countless generations. With this foundation laid, it's time to explore how these beginnings shaped the unique society they built. As we journey deeper into the world of the Amazons, it's impossible not to marvel at the intricate fabric of their society. Their culture wasn't just about surviving, it was about thriving in a way that defied the norms of their time. Myth 4 shines a light on their warrior-centric lifestyle, a system built on discipline, strength, and an unshakable sense of purpose. From a young age, Amazonian girls were trained in combat, honing their skills with weapons like bows, spears, and swords. This wasn't merely a tradition, it was a way of life. Every member of their society, regardless of their role, was expected to embody the spirit of a warrior. It wasn't just about physical prowess, though that was undoubtedly important. It was about mental resilience, strategic thinking, and the ability to face any challenge head-on. In many ways, their society was a mirror of the battlefield, where strength and unity reigned supreme. Now, let's turn our attention to Myth 5, which paints an even more vivid picture of their unique customs. Legends claim that the Amazons took extreme measures to excel in their chosen roles, including the removal of one breast to improve their archery. While this idea has sparked debate among historians, it underscores the lengths to which these warrior women were believed to go in their pursuit of excellence. Beyond physical modifications, their societal structure was equally unconventional. The Amazons were said to live apart from men, forming a matriarchal society where women held all the power. Men were either absent or played a minimal role, often relegated to tasks outside the inner circles of Amazonian life. For some, this might sound like a radical concept, but it's a testament to their determination to forge a world on their own terms. These customs weren't just quirks, they were deeply rooted in their identity and values, shaping a culture that continues to intrigue us to this day. As we uncover these layers of Amazonian life, it's worth asking, what can we learn from a society that prioritized strength, independence, and unity above all else? Their story might seem distant, but it holds lessons that resonate even in our modern world. And speaking of lessons, their interactions with the outside world reveal even more about their character. From fierce battles to unlikely alliances, the Amazons' encounters with Greek heroes offer a fascinating glimpse into how their society was perceived and tested by those who crossed their path. Now, as we pivot from their societal customs to their martial achievements, we uncover the essence of what made the Amazons such formidable figures in ancient mythology. Myth 6 plunges us into the heart of their legendary clashes with Greek heroes, battles that have etched their names into the annals of storytelling. One of the most famous encounters was with Heracles, the mighty demigod tasked with retrieving the girdle of Hippolyta, the Amazon queen. This seemingly simple mission spiraled into a full-blown conflict, showcasing the Amazons' unwillingness to back down, even against the most daunting adversaries. Similarly, their skirmish with Theseus, who sought to abduct Antiope, another Amazonian queen, reveals a pattern of resistance and resilience. These battles weren't just about physical combat. They symbolized the clash of ideologies: freedom versus domination, independence versus control. Moving forward, Myth 7 unveils the Amazons' strategic brilliance, a key factor behind their success on the battlefield. These warrior women were not merely brawn, they were brains too. Their approach to warfare was methodical, often relying on precision and timing rather than brute force alone. They studied their opponents, exploited weaknesses, and adapted to changing circumstances with remarkable agility. For instance, their ability to coordinate attacks, use terrain to their advantage, and execute feigned retreats demonstrated a level of tactical sophistication that rivaled even the most disciplined Greek armies. This strategic depth challenges the stereotype of the Amazons as mere brute fighters, revealing them instead as masterful tacticians whose victories were often as much about intellect as they were about strength. Finally, Myth 8 brings us to their use of unconventional tactics and weapons, a testament to their innovative spirit in warfare. Beyond the standard swords and spears, the Amazons were said to wield unique tools of battle, such as crescent-shaped shields and dual daggers designed for close combat. Their choice of weapons often reflected their adaptability and creativity, allowing them to outmaneuver opponents who relied on traditional armaments. Furthermore, the Amazons were rumored to employ psychological warfare, using their reputation as fierce warriors to intimidate enemies before a single arrow was fired. Stories of their battlefield ingenuity, like releasing wild animals to disrupt enemy formations or using smoke to obscure their movements, only add to their mystique. These tales remind us that success in battle is not solely defined by physical strength, but also by the ability to think differently and act boldly. As we explore these myths of Amazonian warfare, it becomes clear that their legacy is not just one of combat, but of cleverness, courage, and an unyielding determination to defend their way of life. And as we transition to the next part of our journey, we'll uncover even more about the pivotal role men played in this extraordinary society. As we delve deeper into the tapestry of Amazonian life, we arrive at a topic that often evokes both curiosity and controversy, Myth 9, which examines the role of men in Amazonian society. Unlike the prominent warrior queens we've discussed, men in these myths occupied a far less glamorous position. Typically portrayed as outsiders or captives, their primary function was believed to be for reproduction, with little to no influence in the social or political spheres of Amazonian life. This stark division of roles reflects the mythological emphasis on a matriarchal society, where power and authority were firmly in the hands of women. Yet, this portrayal goes beyond just the Amazons. It mirrors broader themes of gender dynamics explored in ancient storytelling, revealing how societal norms of the time shaped these narratives. The idea of men as peripheral figures in Amazonian culture can be seen as a reflection of the ancient world's struggle to reconcile traditional gender roles with the concept of female autonomy. In many ways, the Amazons served as a counterpoint to the patriarchal structures that dominated Greek society. By depicting men as absent or subservient, these myths may have been a way for ancient storytellers to explore fears and tensions surrounding shifts in power dynamics. For instance, the notion of women leading armies and ruling communities challenged deeply ingrained ideals about male dominance, making the Amazons both a fascination and a threat in the collective imagination. This myth also prompts us to consider how ancient societies viewed relationships not just between individuals, but between genders as a whole. What's particularly intriguing is how this myth raises questions about the balance of power and dependency within any society. While the Amazons were depicted as self-sufficient and formidable, their reliance on men for procreation introduces a layer of complexity to their narrative. This interdependence, though limited, underscores the reality that even the most independent societies are not entirely isolated. It also invites speculation about whether these stories were meant to reinforce the idea that male and female roles were inherently distinct, or if they were a subtle critique of the rigid gender hierarchies of the time. As we reflect on these themes, we begin to see how the Amazons' treatment of men in myth offers more than just a glimpse into their society. It serves as a lens through which we can examine the enduring struggle for equality and understanding across cultures. With this in mind, we prepare to shift our focus to the legendary Amazon queens whose leadership left an indelible mark on mythology, showcasing the heights of power these warrior women could achieve. Now, let's turn our attention to two remarkable figures whose stories illuminate the strength and complexity of Amazonian leadership, Hippolyta and Penthesilea. These queens embody not just the fierce warrior spirit of their people, but also the enduring legacy of female power in mythology. Myth 10 introduces us to Hippolyta, a queen celebrated not only for her prowess in battle, but also for a possession that would make her the center of one of the most famous quests in ancient lore. Her girdle, a symbol of her authority and strength, became the coveted prize in the ninth labor of Heracles. Tasked by King Eurystheus to retrieve this iconic artifact, Heracles embarked on a mission that would bring him face to face with the Amazon queen herself. Some versions of the myth suggest that Hippolyta initially offered the girdle willingly, charmed by the hero's presence, while others depict a fierce clash between the two forces. Regardless of the details, this story underscores Hippolyta's significance as a ruler whose power commanded respect, even from the greatest of Greek heroes. Shifting our focus to Myth 11, we encounter Penthesilea, another legendary queen whose tale unfolds against the backdrop of the Trojan War. Unlike Hippolyta, whose story revolves around her prized possession, Penthesilea is remembered for her courage and tragic fate. Leading her army into battle on the side of the Trojans, she was a formidable warrior, driven by a desire to restore her honor after accidentally causing the death of her sister. Her arrival on the battlefield sent waves of fear through the Greek ranks, and even Achilles, the mightiest of Greek warriors, faced a daunting challenge in combating her. The myths recount a poignant twist. Achilles, upon slaying Penthesilea, was struck by her beauty and bravery, overcome with regret for having taken such a valiant life. This moment encapsulates the duality of admiration and conflict that defines the Amazon Queen's roles in mythology. They were both allies and adversaries, respected and feared in equal measure. Together, Hippolyta and Penthesilea exemplify the multifaceted nature of Amazonian leadership. Their stories are not just about conquest and valor, but also about the humanity and vulnerability that lie beneath their legendary personas. Through these queens, ancient storytellers crafted narratives that continue to resonate, offering timeless lessons about strength, sacrifice, and the enduring impact of powerful women in history and myth. As we move forward, we'll explore how these iconic figures influence the portrayal of Amazons in their encounters with Greek heroes, shaping perceptions that would echo through the ages. As we delve into the next chapter of Amazonian mythology, we uncover the intricate web of encounters that these warrior women shared with some of ancient Greece's most iconic heroes. These interactions not only highlight the Amazons' martial prowess, but also reveal the complex perceptions they inspired among the Greeks, oscillating between reverence and intrigue. Myth 12 once again brings us to the tale of Heracles and his quest for Hippolyta's girdle, a story that symbolizes the collision of two powerful worlds. While this labor has already been touched upon through Hippolyta's perspective, its broader implications deserve attention. Heracles' mission wasn't merely a test of strength, but an exploration of how cultures clash and coexist. The Amazons, led by their queen, were not portrayed as passive figures waiting to be conquered. Instead, they stood as equals, challenging the hero's might and intellect. This encounter planted seeds of both admiration and fear among the Greeks, who saw in the Amazons a mirror reflecting their own ideals of courage and discipline, albeit wrapped in a radically different societal framework. Moving forward, Myth 13 introduces us to another pivotal moment, the abduction of Antiope by Theseus. Unlike Heracles' labor, which was driven by divine command, Theseus' actions were deeply personal and politically charged. Antiope, an Amazonian queen or princess depending on the version, was taken during a skirmish when the Amazons ventured too close to Greek territories. Far from being a mere trophy, Antiope's role in this myth is layered with nuance. Some accounts suggest she fell in love with Theseus and left willingly, while others depict her as a victim of theft and betrayal. Regardless of interpretation, her story adds a human dimension to the often larger-than-life tales of Greek heroes. It also sheds light on the Greek fascination with the exotic other, portraying the Amazons as both alluring and dangerous, a paradox that captivated the imagination of storytellers and audiences alike. Finally, Myth 14 invites us to consider the broader cultural impact of these encounters. Over time, the Greeks wove the Amazons into their narratives as symbols of duality. They were fierce warriors to be respected, yet mysterious outsiders to be feared. These myths served as a lens through which the Greeks could explore themes of gender, power, and identity. By portraying Amazons like Hippolyta and Antiope as worthy opponents, and at times tragic figures, Greek storytellers blurred the lines between heroism and villainy. This duality left an indelible mark on how future generations perceived the Amazons, casting them not just as adversaries but as enduring icons whose influence stretched far beyond the battlefield. With these stories in mind, we begin to see how the interactions between the Amazons and Greek heroes shaped their legacy. But the story doesn't end here. As we continue, we'll unravel another layer of the Amazonian mythos, their fabled hidden city, a place shrouded in mystery and speculation. What truths lie behind the legend, and how have these tales inspired explorers and scholars alike? Let's find out together. As we venture into a realm of whispers and wonder, we arrive at Myth 15, a tale that has sparked the imagination of countless generations. This myth speaks of a hidden city, a sanctuary where the Amazons lived untouched by the outside world, a place rumored to exist somewhere beyond the edges of known maps. This fabled city, often described as a paradise nestled deep within uncharted lands, became a symbol of mystery and defiance. It represented not only the Amazons' desire for autonomy, but also humanity's enduring fascination with the unknown. The idea of such a city wasn't merely a fanciful notion, it carried deeper implications. Ancient storytellers painted it as a utopia, where women ruled with wisdom and strength, free from the constraints of patriarchal societies. This vision of an independent, self-sustaining civilization fueled debates about its plausibility. Was it a real place, perhaps obscured by dense forests or towering mountains, or was it a metaphorical construct meant to challenge societal norms? These questions lingered in the minds of explorers and scholars alike, driving them to seek answers. Historical records show that many adventurers, gripped by the allure of this myth, embarked on quests to uncover the truth. From the time of Alexander the Great to the age of exploration, tales of Amazonian cities lured brave souls into uncharted territories. Some sought glory, others knowledge, but all were captivated by the idea of a hidden society that defied conventional rules. Over time, this myth inspired not just physical expeditions but also intellectual ones, as historians and archaeologists began piecing together fragments of evidence that hinted at real warrior women in ancient history. What makes this myth particularly compelling is how it transcended storytelling to shape real-world actions and beliefs. It wasn't just a tale confined to scrolls or oral traditions, it became a catalyst for discovery. The notion of a lost Amazonian city challenged people to rethink what they knew about ancient civilizations and gender roles. Even today, the myth persists, reminding us that the line between legend and history is often thinner than we imagine. With this intriguing foundation laid, our journey now leads us to explore the Amazons' profound connection to the natural world. From their legendary bond with animals to their reverence for the forces of nature, these aspects of their mythology reveal yet another layer of their enduring legacy. Let's uncover how these ties shaped their identity and why they continue to resonate across cultures. Stepping into the heart of their legendary world, we uncover how the Amazons' lives were intricately intertwined with the natural world, a bond that defined both their survival and their spirituality. Myth 16 brings to light their unparalleled relationship with animals, particularly the revered horses that were said to carry them into battle with unmatched speed and grace. These horses were more than just companions, they were sacred beings believed to be gifts from the gods, and their presence symbolized the Amazons' unity with the untamed forces of nature. Alongside these majestic creatures, the Amazons honed their skills as expert hunters, able to navigate dense forests and open plains with precision and respect for the balance of life. Their prowess in hunting wasn't just about survival, it was a testament to their deep understanding of the ecosystems they inhabited and their role within them. Building on this connection, Myth 17 reveals how the Amazons' reverence for nature extended beyond the physical realm into the spiritual. They were often linked to powerful natural forces, drawing strength and guidance from goddesses like Artemis, the protector of wildlife and the hunt. To the Amazons, Artemis represented not only a divine figure, but also an embodiment of their own ideals: strength, independence, and harmony with the earth. This spiritual bond elevated their existence, framing their actions as part of a greater cosmic order. They believed that by aligning themselves with the rhythms of the natural world, they could tap into a wellspring of resilience and power, qualities that defined their warrior ethos. Whether it was through rituals honoring the cycles of the moon or ceremonies celebrating the changing seasons, their lives reflected a profound respect for the interconnectedness of all living things. Together, these myths paint a vivid picture of the Amazons as more than just fierce warriors. They were stewards of the earth, embodying a delicate balance of strength and reverence. Their bonds with animals and their spiritual ties to nature weren't merely symbolic. they were practical expressions of their philosophy, reminding us that true strength often lies in harmony rather than domination. This duality of power and balance reveals why their legacy has endured for centuries, leaving an indelible mark on how we view the relationship between humanity and the natural world. Now, as we turn our focus to the next chapter, we'll explore how the Amazon's symbolism traveled far beyond the borders of Greece, influencing cultures and stories across the ancient world. As we journey beyond the familiar landscapes of Greek mythology, the Amazon's legacy begins to ripple across distant lands, leaving its mark on a tapestry of cultures. Myth 18 invites us to explore the fascinating parallels between the Amazons and the fierce warrior women of the Scythians, a nomadic people who roamed the steppes of Central Asia. These women, much like their mythological counterparts, were skilled riders and archers, embodying a lifestyle that blurred the lines between myth and reality. Historical accounts, including those from ancient Greek historians, often described Scythian women as participants in warfare, their graves containing weapons and even battle scars as evidence of their valor. It's no wonder that the Amazons and Scythians became intertwined in the imagination of ancient storytellers, creating a bridge between the mythical and the historical. This connection challenges us to consider whether the tales of the Amazons were inspired by real-life warrior cultures, adding a layer of intrigue to their enduring legend. Transitioning from the steppes to the riverbanks of ancient civilizations, Myth 19 delves into the depictions of female warriors in Egypt and Mesopotamia. In these societies, women of power often transcended traditional roles, stepping into the arena of leadership and combat. Take, for instance, the stories of Hatshepsut, a female pharaoh who wielded authority with unmatched resolve, or the legendary Queen Tomaris of the Massagetae, who is said to have defeated the Persian king Cyrus the Great. While not always labeled as Amazons, these women embodied the same spirit of strength and independence that the mythical warrior women came to symbolize. Artifacts and carvings from Mesopotamia further reveal depictions of women in battle, wielding weapons and standing alongside men. These portrayals, though distinct in their cultural context, echo the Amazonian ideals of courage and defiance, illustrating how the archetype of the warrior woman resonated across vastly different societies. Finally, Myth 20 unfolds a new chapter as we examine how later cultures, particularly the Romans and medieval Europeans, adapted Amazonian imagery to craft their own narratives. For the Romans, the Amazons served as both adversaries and muses, appearing in epic poetry and artistic mosaics as symbols of exotic danger and martial prowess. Their stories often highlighted the tension between civilization and barbarism, with the warrior women embodying the untamed forces that Rome sought to conquer. Meanwhile, in medieval Europe, the Amazonian legacy took on a more romanticized hue, appearing in chivalric tales and courtly romances as noble adversaries or mysterious lovers. These interpretations reveal how adaptable the Amazonian myth truly was, reshaped by each culture to reflect its values and aspirations. Whether as symbols of resistance, emblems of feminine strength, or cautionary tales, the Amazons continued to inspire and captivate, proving that their story was far from confined to the borders of Greece. Together, these myths uncover the far-reaching influence of the Amazonian archetype, weaving a narrative that transcends time and geography. From the steppes of Central Asia to the courts of medieval Europe, the warrior women of myth found echoes in the real and imagined lives of countless cultures. Their symbolism, though interpreted in myriad ways, remains a testament to humanity's enduring fascination with the interplay of power, gender, and identity. And now, as we prepare to meet the legendary Amazon queens whose names have become synonymous with courage and leadership, we'll see how these larger-than-life figures elevated the mythos to even greater heights. As we turn the page from the echoes of Amazonian symbolism across cultures, we now step into a world where their legends leap from the spoken word to the tangible and the written. Myth 21 invites us to marvel at the vivid depictions of Amazon battles carved into ancient pottery and sculptures, artifacts that have survived the sands of time to tell their stories. These works of art, crafted with painstaking detail, capture the intensity of clashes between the Amazons and their adversaries, immortalizing their bravery and skill. From the intricate red figure vases of Greece to the grand statues of Rome, the warrior women are portrayed not merely as participants in battle, but as central figures of strength and defiance. These artistic renditions were more than decoration. They were reflections of societal values, inspiring admiration and even reverence for the Amazonian spirit. Flowing seamlessly from these visual masterpieces, Myth 22 brings us to the realm of literature, where the legacy of the Amazons found its way into the pages of timeless texts. One of the most striking examples comes from Virgil's Aeneid, where the Amazon warrior Queen Camilla takes center stage. Her character, fierce and unyielding, embodies the virtues of loyalty and courage, fighting valiantly to defend her people against overwhelming odds. Camilla's story, though tragic, resonates deeply, showcasing the Amazonian archetype as both a hero and a symbol of resistance. Beyond Virgil, other classical writers wove Amazonian motifs into their epics and poems, casting these warrior women as formidable foes or noble allies. Their inclusion in these works not only enriched the narrative tapestry, but also reinforced the Amazon status as enduring figures of fascination, bridging the gap between myth and literature. Together, these artistic and literary portrayals reveal how deeply the Amazonian mythos permeated the creative spirit of ancient civilizations, leaving an indelible mark on human culture. And as we move forward, we'll uncover how these ancient inspirations continue to shape modern interpretations of these legendary warrior women. As we transition from the ancient pages of literature and art, the Amazonian legacy takes on a dynamic new life in the modern era, where their mythos continues to evolve and inspire. Myth 23 invites us to explore how these warrior women have been reimagined in contemporary media, from the pages of novels to the screens of cinemas and televisions. Perhaps no modern depiction captures the Amazon spirit as powerfully as the iconic Wonder Woman. Born from the rich lore of Greek mythology, Diana of the Mycera, a proud Amazonian princess, has become a cultural phenomenon. Her stories, spanning comic books, blockbuster films, and television series, portray her not just as a warrior but as a beacon of hope, justice, and compassion. This modern iteration of the Amazons blends their mythological roots with a fresh, empowering narrative, showcasing their strength while emphasizing values like equality and resilience. Yet Wonder Woman is just one chapter in a broader narrative. Beyond her, countless books and films have drawn inspiration from the Amazon archetype, often redefining their roles to align with contemporary values. In novels, Amazons are portrayed as complex characters navigating personal struggles and societal challenges, while films and TV shows reimagine them as symbols of defiance against oppression. Whether they are depicted as allies, adversaries, or aspirational figures, these portrayals reflect a deep-seated fascination with the Amazon mythos, one that continues to captivate audiences around the globe. Building on this resurgence, Myth 24 shifts our focus to the Amazons' enduring role as feminist icons, embodying evolving societal attitudes toward gender and power. In a world increasingly attuned to issues of equality and representation, the Amazons resonate as timeless symbols of female strength and autonomy. Their stories challenge traditional gender roles, offering a powerful counter-narrative to historical depictions of women as passive or secondary. From academic discussions to pop culture commentary, the Amazons are celebrated not just as warriors but as trailblazers who defy expectations and inspire change. This modern reinterpretation underscores their relevance, proving that their legacy is as alive today as it was in the ancient world. And as we venture further, we'll uncover even more about the real-world echoes of these legendary women, connecting myth to history in ways that continue to shape our understanding of power, identity, and resilience. As we step beyond the realm of myth and into the tangible traces of history, we arrive at a question that has intrigued scholars and adventurers alike. Were the Amazons merely figments of ancient imagination, or do they have roots in real-world warrior women? Myth 25 invites us to explore this intriguing debate, where archaeology and history converge to offer fascinating insights. For decades, the prevailing view was that the Amazons were purely mythical, their stories woven from the fabric of legend. However, recent discoveries have begun to challenge this assumption, suggesting that these tales might have been inspired by actual warrior women from ancient Eurasian tribes. Archaeological findings have unearthed compelling evidence that blurs the line between myth and reality. For instance, the discovery of ancient graves containing female skeletons buried alongside weapons and horse-riding gear has sparked renewed interest. These graves, scattered across regions that once belonged to the Scythians and Sarmatians, hint at societies where women may have played significant roles as warriors. Artifacts like bows, arrows, and battle axes found in these burial sites suggest that these women were not only skilled in combat, but also held a place of honor within their communities. Such findings challenge traditional views and open the door to new interpretations of the Amazon mythos. But what does this mean for our understanding of the Amazons? Some historians propose that these warrior women served as the inspiration for the Amazon legends, their feats exaggerated and immortalized through storytelling. Others argue that these findings simply highlight the existence of female warriors in ancient societies, distinct from the mythical Amazons but equally remarkable. Regardless of the interpretation, the evidence underscores a deeper truth. The image of the Amazon taps into a universal fascination with women who defy conventional roles, wielding strength and autonomy in ways that resonate across cultures and eras. As we piece together these historical fragments, the Amazons' legacy becomes even more profound. They are no longer confined to the pages of mythology, but emerge as a bridge between ancient lore and human history. This connection not only enriches our understanding of the Amazons, but also invites us to reflect on the enduring power of stories to shape our perception of the past. And with that, we've reached the final chapter of our mythological journey, but the echoes of these warrior women continue to inspire and challenge us. Stay tuned as we wrap up our exploration with some final thoughts on why the Amazons remain timeless symbols of strength, resilience, and empowerment. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an adventure into the world of mythology. Now, let us turn our gaze to a fascinating chapter where mythology meets artistry, as we explore how the Amazons left their mark on the canvas of Renaissance Europe. Myth 21 invites us deeper into the world of art, revealing how these warrior women became powerful symbols during a time of cultural rebirth and innovation. Renaissance artists, inspired by classical texts and their own imaginations, reimagined the Amazons not merely as figures of myth, but as allegories for virtue, courage, and rebellion. Through their works, these legendary women took on new life, embodying ideals that resonated with the values and struggles of the era. One of the most iconic examples can be found in paintings like The Battle of the Amazons by Peter Paul Rubens. This masterpiece captures the drama and dynamism of Amazonian warriors in combat, their strength and determination rendered with vivid detail. Rubens, known for his ability to convey movement and emotion, used the Amazons to explore themes of heroism and resilience. His depiction goes beyond mere battle scenes, offering a commentary on the courage required to challenge established norms, a theme that would have struck a chord with audiences navigating the social and political upheavals of the time. Another notable work is Sandro Botticelli's The Combat of the Amazons, where the clash between the Amazons and Greek forces is portrayed with a sense of elegance and balance. Botticelli's approach reflects the Renaissance fascination with harmony and proportion, even in scenes of conflict. Here, the Amazons are depicted not as mere adversaries but as noble figures whose defiance against male-dominated societies mirrors the era's growing interest in questioning traditional hierarchies. These artworks reveal how the Amazons became a canvas for exploring broader ideas about power, gender, and the human spirit. Beyond individual paintings, the Amazonian influence extended to shaping entire art movements. The revival of interest in classical mythology during the Renaissance meant that the Amazons were often featured in frescoes, sculptures, and tapestries adorning the halls of palaces and public spaces. Their images served as reminders of the virtues of bravery and independence, ideals that were increasingly celebrated in a world emerging from the shadows of the Middle Ages. By incorporating Amazonian themes into their work, artists not only paid homage to ancient legends but also contributed to the cultural dialogue of their time, sparking conversations about the evolving roles of women and the nature of heroism. As we reflect on these artistic reinterpretations, it becomes clear that the Amazons were more than just mythical figures. They were symbols that artists used to comment on their own societies. Their depictions in Renaissance art highlight the enduring power of these warrior women to inspire and provoke thought, bridging the gap between ancient stories and contemporary ideals. And with that, we've uncovered yet another layer of the Amazons' legacy, one that continues to captivate and challenge us. Next, we'll journey further into the world of literature, where Amazonian legends take on new forms in medieval tales and epic poems, shaping the literary imagination for centuries to come. Stay with us as we unravel this next chapter in their storied history. As we step into the realm of medieval storytelling, a new chapter unfolds where the echoes of Amazonian legends weave their way into the fabric of chivalric romances and epic poetry. These warrior women, born from the mists of ancient myth, found themselves reimagined by medieval scribes who saw in their tales a canvas for exploring themes of honor, love, and the clash of civilizations. It was here, amidst the tales of knights and quests, that the Amazons took on roles as both noble adversaries and alluring figures of mystery, their stories resonating across the centuries. One of the most striking examples of this can be found in the works of Geoffrey of Monmouth, a writer whose tales helped shape the Arthurian legends that still captivate us today. In his History of the Kings of Britain, Geoffrey introduces a character named Camilla, a queen said to embody the spirit of the Amazons. Camilla is depicted as a fierce and unyielding warrior, leading her people with unmatched bravery. Her story mirrors the classical Amazonian ideal of a woman who defies the constraints of her gender, standing shoulder to shoulder with men on the battlefield. Through her, we see how the medieval world embraced the archetype of the Amazon as a symbol of strength and independence, qualities that were often celebrated even as they challenged societal norms. Equally compelling is the portrayal of Amazonian motifs in the epic poem, The Romance of Alexander, a tale that recounts the adventures of Alexander the Great. Within its verses, we encounter the queen of the Amazons, Thalestris, who is said to have sought out Alexander not as a conqueror, but as a potential ally and lover. This depiction of the Amazons as exotic and desirable figures reveals a fascinating duality in medieval thought. On one hand, they were revered as warriors who commanded respect, while on the other, they were romanticized as enigmatic beauties whose allure tested the resolve of even the greatest heroes. It's a testament to the complexity of these legends and their ability to adapt to the cultural values of the time. Perhaps no work captures the enduring fascination with the Amazons quite like the medieval poem Huon of Bordeaux. This tale, rich with adventure and intrigue, features a band of Amazonian warriors who serve as both allies and obstacles to the titular hero. Their leader, Clarice, is a queen of remarkable wisdom and courage, embodying the ideals of justice and leadership. Through her character, the poem explores what it means to wield power with grace and fairness, offering a vision of female authority that was both aspirational and thought-provoking. It's a reminder that even in a world dominated by patriarchal structures, the Amazons continue to inspire visions of alternative ways of living and leading. The impact of these medieval reinterpretations cannot be overstated. By incorporating Amazonian themes into their works, writers not only preserved the legacy of these warrior women but also expanded it, ensuring their stories would resonate with future generations. From the chivalric romances that entertained noble courts to the epic poems that were shared among common folk, the Amazons became a bridge between the ancient and the medieval, a link that tied the ideals of the past to the aspirations of the present. Their presence in literature served as a mirror, reflecting the hopes and fears of societies grappling with questions of identity, power, and the role of women in a rapidly changing world. And so, as we close this chapter on the Amazons in medieval literature, we find ourselves marveling at their versatility and enduring appeal. Whether cast as noble foes or enchanting allies, these legendary women continue to shape the imaginations of those who wrote and read about them. But their journey does not end here. In our next segment, we'll explore how the Amazons leaped from the pages of books to the silver screen, where they have been reimagined once more for modern audiences. Join us as we uncover how these ancient warriors continue to inspire and challenge us through the lens of film and popular culture. Stay tuned for this cinematic exploration of their timeless legacy. As we turn the page from medieval manuscripts to the dazzling glow of the silver screen, the Amazonian legacy takes on a vibrant new life. This is where ancient myths meet modern storytelling, transforming these legendary warrior women into icons of cinematic wonder. From the flickering images of early silent films to the high-definition spectacle of today's blockbusters, the portrayal of the Amazons has evolved, mirroring the shifting ideals of femininity and heroism across the decades. In the early days of cinema, the Amazons were often depicted as exotic curiosities, their stories framed through a lens of mystery and allure. Silent films like The Warrior Queen, released in the 1920s, showcased these warrior women as distant, almost mythical figures. Their strength was undeniable, but it was often overshadowed by their perceived otherness, reflecting the era's limited understanding of female empowerment. These early portrayals, though groundbreaking for their time, often reduced the Amazons to one-dimensional characters, emphasizing their physical prowess while neglecting their deeper complexities. As cinema matured, so too did the representation of the Amazons. The 1940s and 50s brought a wave of sword and sandals epics, where these warrior women were given more agency and depth. Films like The Amazons and Hercules Unchained featured Amazonian characters who were not just side notes but central figures in their own right. These portrayals began to explore themes of independence and resilience, aligning with the growing feminist movements of the time. It was here that audiences first began to see the Amazons not just as warriors, but as symbols of female strength and defiance in the face of societal constraints. Fast forward to the modern era, and the Amazons have truly stepped into the spotlight, thanks in large part to the blockbuster success of Wonder Woman. Released in 2017, this film redefined what it meant to be a hero, introducing a new generation to the Amazonian legacy through the character of Diana Prince. Played by Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman was depicted as a beacon of hope, blending compassion with unyielding determination. The film's portrayal of the Amazons as a sisterhood of warriors living in the hidden paradise of the Themyscira highlighted their unity and shared purpose. This vision of female empowerment resonated deeply with audiences worldwide, becoming a cultural touchstone for discussions about gender equality and heroism. What makes these cinematic portrayals so compelling is how they reflect the values and aspirations of their respective eras. In the early days, the Amazons were seen as distant legends, their stories told with a sense of wonder and curiosity. As societal attitudes shifted, so too did the Amazons, evolving into multidimensional characters who embodied the struggles and triumphs of women across history. Today, films like Wonder Woman celebrate the Amazons not just as warriors, but as leaders, thinkers, and guardians of justice, offering a vision of heroism that transcends gender. The journey of the Amazons through cinema is a testament to their enduring legacy. Their stories continue to inspire, challenge, and captivate, reminding us of the timeless appeal of these warrior women. And as filmmakers continue to explore their mythos, we can only imagine the new dimensions they will bring to these legendary figures. But for now, as we step beyond the silver screen, we find ourselves looking ahead to how the Amazons have been embraced not just in films, but also as powerful symbols of feminist ideals. Join us as we delve into their role as icons of empowerment and resilience in the modern age. Stay tuned for this next chapter in their remarkable story. As we bring this journey to a close, it's worth reflecting on how the myths of the Amazons have transcended time, geography, and culture to become something far greater than their ancient origins. From their divine creation by gods to their legendary battles against Greek heroes, from their matriarchal society to their modern-day portrayals as symbols of empowerment, these warrior women have remained a source of fascination and inspiration. Their stories have evolved alongside humanity, adapting to reflect our ever-changing values while retaining their core essence of strength, courage, and defiance. Whether depicted in ancient pottery, medieval literature, or blockbuster films, the Amazons remind us of the power of storytelling to shape how we see ourselves and the world around us. So, what do these ancient tales reveal about our modern understanding of gender, power, and identity? How do they challenge us to rethink the roles we play in our own lives? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your perspective. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the myths of the Amazons, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an exploration into the captivating world of mythology. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep discovering the stories that connect us all.